What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to give y'all my top 10 metal songs of the year. This is not a consensus. There are no polls here. These are my picks, so y'all can know what I'm into, and maybe you'll find something if you missed it this year. But these are the songs that literally were the most unskippable songs for me. The songs that when I started my playlist, I wanted to start the shuffle on because this song I wanted to make sure I heard before I got to where I was going in my car. These are my jams. There will be no brown nosing, no fan service in this. These are my picks. I know plenty of people will disagree with them, say I missed great songs or pick songs that were terrible. That's cool. Let me know your top 10 in the comments. I literally read every comment on this channel, and I am legitimately interested to know your top 10. There was so much good music this year. There are so many top bands that put out banger songs that are not on this list. These are just the songs that were the most must-hear songs on a daily basis for me throughout 2021. So we're starting fresh with something fresh on everybody's mind. At number 10, we have Scion, The Blade. This song was the first song that Jared Dines and Howard Jones put together for the album they put out, and it was an absolute banger. I had this thing on repeat so much. The chorus with Howard just hit so hard. The breakdown, it was just amazingly put together metal banger that I played to death this year. The Blade by Scion, number 10. Coming in at number 9, we have Hypa Hypa by We Butter the Bread with Butter. Honestly, if I did a top 10 videos from last year, Hypa Hypa would be like a top 5 song for me last year. This year coming in, I had listened to it so much, but they revitalized it with bringing in all these different versions of it. And the We Butter the Bread with Butter was just the brutal Hypa Hypa. I love the way they did it. Listen to this one so many times. Honestly, if there was no Hypa Hypa and this one with We Butter the Bread with Butter was the first one to come out, this song would probably be like a top 5 for me this year. It's coming in at number 9 though. It's a banger. Coming in at number 8, we have Funeral Arrangements by Ice Nine Kills. I could have put so many songs from Ice Nine Kills on this list, but Funeral Derangements is just the one for me that I caught myself like singing along to the most and just wanting. It was the go-to one for me on the album that I wanted to make sure I heard. The heaviness of it, the catchy hooks, all the things that you want in Ice Nine Kills in the song. It's a banger. Funeral Arrangements, number 8. Coming in at number 7, we have Visceral by Veil of Maya. This early on in the year when it dropped, it was looking like my top song of the year. It is an absolute banger. Everything about it. It's a great song. It is so good through the year. I've had 6 songs ahead of this I think were more of my go-to, but this one had a spot for a while. It's a banger that should not be missed. Viscera by Veil of Maya. Coming in at number 6, my most surprising to me to be on my list, we have In Another Life by Crown the Empire featuring Courtney from Spirit Box. Straight up, I never thought I would have a Crown the Empire song be a top 10 song for me in a year, but I listened to the heck out of this song. When this song starts off, I am there. First verse, I am there. But when that first pre-chorus hits and then into the chorus, I am just hooked. This song, I love the way it ends too. It goes breakdown and then it never really goes back to any type of like repeats of the chorus. It just kind of continues in its own like way through the breakdown. And it is start to finish just a song that I wanted to hear over and over and over again. In Another Life, Crown the Empire featuring Courtney of Spirit Box, number 6. Number 5, once again, featuring Courtney from Spirit Box, we have Contraband by Make Them Suffer. I feel like a lot of people in our community will be surprised that it's not higher on my list, but I mean, it's number 5. These are all bangers. I listened to this song once again, just like all the other ones, so many times. And of course, this one, the way that Make Them Suffer is going to have the absolute brutal in there with the parts with the keyboards and the melodies to it. Like, it's so good. It's so good. Number 5, Make Them Suffer, Contraband. Number 4, I went back and forth with this so many times, but it is To the Hellfire by Lorna Shore. And what I mean back and forth is that I feel like it's almost interchangeable to put the other two songs on the EP in this position. I think I may have listened to them all equally. It is one of the best EPs under 5 songs that I have ever heard. Like, it is so good. But To the Hellfire, I know we have the shock factor, and that's the part where I was like apprehensive about that. Like, I didn't want this to be on the list for the shock factor, but it's not the shock. I mean, we know what Will does at the end, but the guitar solo in this, and I mean, the guitar work, this is not just this vocal performance. This is like 6 minutes and some change of just ridiculous instrumentals. Ridiculous. The guitar work, that solo, man. That solo. And To the Hellfire, Lorna Shore, number 4. Number 3, we have the least known band on this list. That is Orbit Culture. The song is Flight of the Fireflies. Orbit Culture also put out an amazing EP this year. And there is songs on there that I feel like are almost interchangeable with this, but Flight of the Fireflies was my jam. From the time it came out, the other songs that came out on the EP after it, this is the one I always went back to. Orbit Culture needs to be known. You need to know Orbit Culture. If you do not, they are amazing. Flight of the Fireflies, the epicness of the sounds, like the stuff that happens in like the bridge and like the later parts of that song, it is such an epic sound to just a brutal, heavy banger. Orbit Culture, Flight of Fireflies, number 3. Number 2, I will be surprised if this is not a ton of people's. Number 1, I feel like it is definitely the most popular song in modern metal this year. That is Circle With Me by Spiritbox, and for good reason. This song I would put as second in almost every category of categories that I would have for music. Like, most clicked on in my playlist, most unskippable, most go back and play it again. Like, it is my second favorite song of the year. And it's honestly a bit surprising. Now, I don't have a degree in modern metal music theory, but at face value, this song is kind of soft. It is probably one of the softest songs in this top 10. You have the intro that's not clean, but then you have cleans. Verse, chorus, and then the breakdown, which is obviously not clean. But it is a very chill song, except for that breakdown, except for the fact that that chorus, without harsh vocals, without any insaneness, that chorus hits like almost nothing this year. This song is one of the hardest hitting choruses I have ever heard. It just feels so good when that chorus hits. It's so perfect. And the breakdown, it is one of the best breakdowns of the year. Absolutely. Circle With Me by Spiritbox, number 2. Number 1 song of the year for me, Ghost by Eminence. I don't know what it is about this song. Like, I don't sit and think about this song like it's some instrumental masterpiece, just absurd. Vocally, there's no shock factor stuff like some of these others have. This song just gets me every time. I don't know if it's the violin. I mean, I do love the violin, but like vocally, the emotion, I don't know, like instrumentally, lyrically, the mix, the emotion of this song. I could literally just sit here, play it 10 times on Spotify while I'm doing other stuff, and I would be totally happy with that. I wouldn't be like, man, let me go find another song. Nope. I'd be good with that. Like, you got to make me like leave the song. Like, it's a banger. Eminence, Ghost. That is my top 10 songs of the year. I have reactions to every song that I mentioned here on the channel. I reacted to a lot of songs this year. Let me know what you thought about this. Let me know your top 10 down in the comments. If you're new, make sure you subscribe.